And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Testing in the Dark. Another edition, it's fantastic. Today we are featuring my good friend Garret from Vintner Collectives. And the testing panel is Tim Olson. Tim, tell me a little bit about you, what you do.
Primarily in the wine business as a winemaker, and this is my 29th harvest.
All right, fantastic. Then next we have Marion, beautiful Marion, right in the middle. And Marion, what do you do?
So I work at Wyreso Wineries as their national source coordinator and also at Grozinger's wine merchant in Yountville, California.
And we have Boris to finish up the panel. And Boris, what do you do?
I don't have any last name. No. So I have a small wine brand, and I also buy and sell my wine collections.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. So you have 6 wines to taste. The first flight is being poured, 3 wines. You have 15 minutes to do all that. Once you finish the first flight, you dump it or you drink it, and you pour yourself the second flight. No talking during the testing. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, please go ahead now. All right. Garret, it's been a pleasure, man. I mean, it's been like
a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and you did have like some issues last year. That we had the earthquake. You closed. Tell me a little bit what was going on during this time for you.
And some issues might be an understatement. You know, I mean, you think about it. We had a huge earthquake, and it really affected our place of business. The whole face of the business fell over onto the street. So it's been we've been working really hard for the past 1 year to. Essentially resurrect the building, and hopefully we should be done in October. So
yeah, it's been like a really a labor of love, and thanks to that, a lot of red tapes or
actually, not really. The city, was doing a great job, but there's a lot of engineering with a very old building like that. It's a National Register. It's the oldest building in Napa.
Right.
So, it had to be done right.
Were you capable of keeping in touch with your customers? I mean, people started to, and then eventually, things fade away, right? So how were you able to keep in touch with all your followers?
Well, when Vintner's Collective opened 14 years ago, there was nothing downtown Napa, so we had to be really, really good at our direct marketing. So that has not changed. We're really good at it, and we kept in touch with all our customers by phone and kept harassing them and saying, you know what, you need more wine,
right?
And we need the support.
Yeah.
And they did. That was wonderful.
Yeah, awesome. Do you do a lot of blind tasting?
Not really. The only time I do, the only thing that when I bring wineries in, or if I'm doing a tasting, with a potential winery, I might not want to know some of the information, but mostly I don't want to know the price point. That'd be one that I don't want to know about, and I like to discover as I'm tasting, and then I'll ask a couple more questions. So it's personally when I'm tasting wine, if I'm thinking of bringing them into Vintner's Collective, let's
talk a little bit about this. How you pick your customers there, or your people that
the winery clients.
The winery clients, yeah.
We've been open for 14 years. We have only 15 wineries. We have probably one winery every 3 days who show up. So I would say it's very, very curated. We, number one, we pick nice people.
So
because there's a lot of great wine, but you want people who are going to be fun and friendly in front of our customers. All the wines have to be extremely unique.
Hold on, son. I'm looking at the team.
Tim,
through the first flight. It's just it's just quite amazing. But we're gonna come back to that. I mean, that was a quick first turn. So yeah, that's for you to pour.
You want me to pour?
Yeah, yes.
He was just giving you a hard time.
But as much as you want.
Yes, so essentially uniqueness between varietals is very important. We have lots of different Syrahs and Chardonnay, Cabernet Sauvignon, so we want them all to be very, very unique. Essentially talking about blind tasting, if you were going to taste every single Chardonnay at Vintner's Collective, and you saw the label, then I wrap them and you taste them again. You should be able to pick them after that because they're very unique.
Yeah. And year after year, but I'm assuming that every year there is sometimes the wines may be better 1 year, the next year's and so the relationship has to be really, really important for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a trust factor, and if really we're not doing so well with one of their label, normally they're not doing so well neither at the winery, and that's very rare. But
Yeah.
if it does, then we work the same way. They have to find a way to maybe move it in some other fashion. But in general, yeah, there's a great communication between
Right.
the two of us.
It has been said that women tend to have like a better palate than guys.
I'm 100% in agreement with that.
So you think like out of those three testers, like Marion may be coming up on top?
Marion is gonna
Oh,
know.
she may be coming up on
she's-
top. I
she's-
mean, yeah. But, I'm sorry.
I think Marion's gonna tell us every single label, and she's gonna tell us what they are and
But
what
but
blends there is, the
but-
clones, the rootstock. She'll tell us. She's gonna tell us
But
everything.
yet we do have a winemaker that is involved into this testing, and it's funny the kind of techniques they're doing. Like Tim is like a goblin. This look at this thing, really really easy. It goes down very very nicely. Boris Pitt, he's a speeder, very focused. He's not even smiling. He's like really and then Marion is I don't know, something in between here. I don't know. She's having a good
Tim,
time.
the winemaker in Tim is now starting to write really complex notes. Just.
You think he's going like to the pH? And
Yeah,
stuff
I
like
know. I think he is.
Yeah. Is that something like concerns you when you do testing?
Balance is everything. Yep, I agree, and that's for me. A wine has to be extremely balanced. Everything has to be in place.
Yeah. What does that mean? Tell me a little bit more.
Balance
about
for me, if I want to simplify what I mean by this, is I mean that fruit, alcohol, and that's about it. I mean, fruit and alcohol are two main components. Acidity obviously is one. And everything has to be in place, obviously, aromats and texture.
You think like every 15 wineries are making balanced wine at Vintner Collectives?
What were you asking?
Every clients, winery clients, if this is something that is really important to you,
Yeah.
are making like a really extremely balanced wine.
Yeah, I think nobody's focusing on, they have an aggressive oak program, and suddenly, we lose a terroir or something like that. That's not going to happen.
What is terroir to you?
To me, it's really the identity of the wine. It's where it comes from. And I'll give you an example. Coombsville, for me, one thing that right away pops out of, from Coombsville is very aromatic. It's a little cooler over there. And so I'm looking always for black licorice and some violet petals and some very floral aspect and cool and good acidity out of that
Right.
terroir.
Right. So I don't know. I will like on a second flight for everyone. I haven't really paid attention too much about it. I know Tim went through that. Tim is done. So I would trust everybody else to let me know when you guys are done. You still have about a good 10 minutes. So I mean, you went. You did win. I mean, for sure. So it's going to be and Boris.
Everybody
is
is a
going to
winner. Everybody is a winner beside Boris tonight.
Boris is Boris is really taking his time. He's really desiccating the flight here. But Boris, worked in at the Luca, and now he's making his own wine and things like that.
So where you used to work with you in the old days?
Yeah, for like 5 minutes, and very enjoyable, And now he's making his own wine. Have you tried that?
Yes, absolutely. I
Yeah.
think they're really, really delicious.
Yeah, I think Ellen is doing like a very
Very,
good job.
very serious vino.
So, and here, and perhaps I think Tim is going to do some circles around them. He's going to do like a second flight, just like, third flight.
You got to taste it again, too.
There's nothing else at this point. So what these,
Tim, you know what, Tim? Keep drinking your favorite. Just pour it in your glass anytime you want.
so what is the next step? So you're back on the saddle now. I mean,
Yeah.
October is going to be, are you going to do like a big opening or something like that?
Yeah, we're going to do a grand opening.
Am I going to
probably.
get like an invite? Or?
You'll be invited. Everybody's invited here, obviously.
all right.
It should be fun. Everybody online is invited to show up and see what we did to
Did
bring
you charge
back
anything
this.
inside or not?
Actually, not really. We put veneer on everywhere, meaning we refinished every wood surfaces, and
Yeah.
but in general, you'll get in there, and it won't be that much different.
Right. So so yeah.
Oh, actually, there will be something different. There'll be a wall where with all the artifacts and photos of what we went through with the earthquake.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, like you remember the big
So
Vintner's collective sign?
you work on it.
We're working on it.
Yeah, you're like looking for PD and things like that.
Yeah, that's right. Pity, exactly. Look what we went through.
But
Will it be a case?
Yeah, yeah. But look, I remember the day that you brought this Airstream, and
the
the
Airstream.
Airstream, and I thought that was a very smart. It's just like to really keep going and show that you're still alive. And
That's exactly
Yeah.
true. We wanted to make sure people knew that, you looked at the building, they thought Vintner's Collective, they might have thought we were out of business. So the Airstream was, a way to show people that, hey, not only we're here, but we're still, we're creative and
right,
having fun and still doing business.
yeah. So that I really enjoy that. And so, how many people you have working for you now? What is the full team?
We had 13 before the earthquake, and today we have 12.
Oh, the other day I saw on Facebook that you're taking some pilot lessons.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be flying now?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I think it's fun to fly a plane. Beside when the co-pilot or the guy who's teaching you start trying to show you how it is when the engine stalls.
Right.
I'm like, I don't want to learn that, and plane starts to go. That was very scary. He did it twice.
Is that right? So
Because I'm doing a mistake.
So
He goes, if you did that and we continue doing this, look what would happen. And then he stalls the thing, and we're going down. And I'm like, that's okay. I got it. I won't make
So you
this
have to
mistake
go out
again.
and start crank it back.
You just you lift and you push, you get some power, and then you bring back your.
How many hours do you have?
At least 2 hours.
That's outstanding. So you fly, you run.
So you want me to take you for a long flight?
I gotta wait a little bit. Do you fly? Have you taken your lessons here in Napa or what?
In Concord.
Concord? Okay.
Yeah. So don't worry, if I fall from the sky, I won't fall on you.
What your girlfriend thinks about it? She's okay with that?
She thinks it's hot.
She's the one paying for it?
She thinks it's really hot.
Yeah.
What do you think I'm doing it for?
I don't know. Oh, Jesus Christ. Serious?
She calls me captain now.
Oh, is that right?
Whoa. I'm getting distracted over
You have
here.
the casket?
That's right.
That's your shirt, isn't it?
Is this
So-
going to lead to some Captain
I was
Mysterious games?
another 5 minutes. I don't want to rush Boris.
Boris is
It's going to be so
thinking.
interesting to read his notes.
yeah.
He needs another 10 minutes.
Notice
pretty
he's
much.
the only one spitting. I don't know what that means exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's going to give a right to everybody
Nobody
else
likes a
tonight.
spitter.
Nobody.
So
Yeah, I've noticed that.
and
I mean,
I hear you. It's
Pastry.
my ways, but
pastry. You still do pastries?
Actually, you know what? I got into a lot into cooking lately.
Yeah, so some pictures of that.
Yeah. So I'm getting really involved with that. And
But were you a cook or?
I was a pastry chef for 15 years. Then for 15 years, I sort of for yeah, guys, focus on the wine.
Yeah, focus on the white. We're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, no. So I was a chef for 15 years, and I stopped for about 15, but I regained my passion about 5 years ago. It took a while before. When
So
you
you're a
do-
chef or you're a pastry chef?
I'm both, actually. I graduated from culinary school for both, but
Yeah.
I'm mainly a pastry chef.
When I met you, and I think Tim was there too.
At Meadowood?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in the same time, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're the pastry chef. You're running the pastry. You're doing like this Saint Honoré and this shit we're doing. That was fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. It's
You
a
remember
nice
that?
compliment. I remember.
Oh
it,
my
yes.
God! That was you were the really. I've never seen anything like that. And
It's weird. Any other job,
then after that, you went to design ties.
when
some
you
shit.
become a consultant in any other job, it's very, plush and
That's
easy.
why you were a consultant
And
there.
I was a consultant there. I still had to get there 4 in the morning. I was like, this is not right. I'm not doing this anymore.
And then after that, you went like to Chateau Potel, right?
Chateau Patel Winery for 6 years.
6 years, and then after that, I remember like you came back and see me, and you were doing ties.
Yeah,
Design-
I was doing neckwear during that time, and that was short-lived because no one wore ties in California anymore, and I didn't want to,
Yeah.
go all the way to the East Coast all the time.
So what took you to like where you are now? What was the revelation, and like what made you to? Were you feeling up a niche that was like or trying to create something for you, or
At that time, sorry,
your wife is calling you?
no, it's a
Your girlfriend?
reminder of some sort.
Pick up the kids.
At that time, wait, what was the question?
You have 2 minutes left.
What was the question again?
What took you to that? To like from the tie to or
that's,
that to
that's
Vintner
right. Well,
Collective?
at that time, small producers, didn't get any.
What year was it? 14 years ago.
That was 2001 and 2. At that time, every marketing company would tell the small producers, look, you really need to sell direct to consumer. Focus on that and forget about the 3-tier. And this is why I came into the picture, because I took a bunch of small vintners who were like-minded. They wanted to really continue doing small production, the best work they can do, the best source of fruit, and
Balanced wine.
balanced wine, and work together as one and to compete with the bigger wineries. Because it's a multi-winery tasting room. You have a way to compete with bigger wineries.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. And we're gonna have Milo picking up your shits there, making sure that you have the total scores on it. And we're gonna talk about your experience, what you talk about the wines, not some details. And that's good. So. That's fantastic. So you're back on the cellar, you're ready to go. October is the opening.
Yeah. So
And
hopefully,
you're going to do something like fairly big. I know the way you are. I mean, usually this is like you're really enjoying partying and
Yeah.
you're very entertaining. And
we'll have all the vintners there. So you
Right.
think of probably 15 wineries are going to be there, and we're pouring wine, and we're going to have great food, bunch of different restaurant catering.
Okay.
So it should be fun.
Okay. So all right, guys. So how was it? We are not talking about the wine, no numbers at this point. In general, how was it? And I'm gonna start with Mario.
It was, I enjoyed the wines very much. It was a little bit of a tough panel, tough lineup for sure. But really great wines. I really enjoyed them. I loved the white wine. Number 4 stumped me a
we
little
don't know
bit.
about numbers at this point here.
Okay.
In general.
In general, I had a good time. I think these are really beautiful wines, and I'm excited to hear what they're going to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Boris, what was your impression?
I thought it was very interesting because I wasn't expecting this type of wines. I thought a lot of them had like a European style to them, and so it was great. Very food driven overall, like great, kind of like great acidity, great food pairing profile for sure.
Tim, and I appreciate that you could come up, because you're in the middle of harvest. And by the way, how harvest is going for you?
It's been a very interesting harvest. Very, very early. I don't make Cabernet these days, but I have winemaker friends in Napa telling me they had 25 bricks on September 1st, which just seems crazy.
Right.
I brought my Monterey Pinot in on the 28th of August. It's the first time I've harvested fruit in August in, 15 years. I mean, but the quality is superb, smaller cluster weights and smaller berries, and it's going to be a very solid vintage, but it's going to be a challenge to find balance, I think. I personally love these wines because I tend to have a bit more of a Eurocentric palate. I try to make my wines to gear with food, a little restraint, a little acidity, and it'll be hard this year because the ripeness has been pretty high.
Yeah, pretty high. Out of the wines you tasted, without revealing any numbers at this point, but was it like a one wine that you wish you could have made?
There was a couple of them in here that I thought were just superb. As Boris said, great food wines for the most part. One or two of them maybe had a little too much oakiness going on, but I thought the winemaking quality was very, very good. Good food wines.
Cool.
I agree.
Number one and number two, I'd say, were my two favorites.
Yeah, good. So Mario, like right now you're working for like a small boutique winery in Napa Valley, and so what is your experience? Because this is, the wine that this winery is really making is not necessarily the cup of tea or what people will expect to find in Napa Valley.
Right, we're making Colombard and Tannat, but I think these wines are very similar to the wines that my boss Yannick makes. Very food friendly, tend to be a little higher in acidity. The balance in all of these wines was really superb, and it's really why I started wanting to work for Yannick in the first place and pursued working for him, because balance is really important to him. And I think when you are such a small boutique winery, you have a lot of control, obviously, because you're the only one doing it. So I think these all kind of reflect a lot of passion behind them, just like the wines that Yannick makes. So,
You're somebody, explain to me what is balance to you.
the balance to me is, I want to feel that fruit in the front. I want there to be some texture, and it doesn't always have to be weight, but follow through to give me the finish, and to bring that same fruit that I smelled on the nose, that I tasted on the front, all the way through to the finish. I think that's really balanced, to have a consistent wine, not all over the place. And when a wine smells like it's going to give you all these things and it doesn't on the palate, I think that doesn't express balance. So what it gives you on the nose should reflect what it gives you on the palate as well.
This is making me outstanding. Boris, you jump into you've been in retail for a long time, and now you just like a jump as a vintner, and you're making for the first time some wine. You're making a Barino and a Pinot Noir, a couple of Pinot Noirs. So tell me about this harvest for you. Like,
Obviously, I have a friend who's making the wine for me, Ellen Kaplinger. So I'm not necessarily making the wine myself, but obviously I've been in the wine business for a long time, been in Napa for about just over 10 years. So I've seen definitely that was by far the earliest harvest I've ever seen. I mean, I make some Pinot Noir from the Sonoma coast, which we brought on August 17. So it's definitely interesting and fun part to go from the retail world to actually making my own wine, and it's a different aspect, but it's obviously something I'm very attached to.
All right, guys. So I have the scores here, and I'm afraid that this is the first time it ever fucking happened, and I'm serious about it. That's not almost everyone wins. I mean, this is crazy. The scores are like really, the total scores are, it's nuts. So we have to break it down. We have to have a number 1 and a number 6. So I'm going to ask you.
Before you do that, I'm going to give you a sense of, the wines I brought today. Normally, when I come here, I'll bring some kind of some kind of a idea of how we're going to do this. There's going to be a logic to it, and maybe there'll be a couple different Syrahs, or I'm going to think of the AVA. I'm going to work on it. Here, I thought, wait a minute, I want to have guys who really understand wine. What is a group of wine that they would love drinking? And this is what I did on this one. It's very unusual. I picked what I would love to share with friends who really understand wine.
So go ahead, Milo. Give this back to a tasting panel here, if you don't mind. But the one we're gonna reveal that came up last, and this last by half a point, is wine number 3. And you seem all to like it. However, there is a high score and there is a low score. So Boris, yes. That was a low score for you. And tell me what you think about it.
I mean, again, I mean, low score being 16 out of 20, which
I know,
is obviously a
look,
good
that was
score.
higher.
Here's the deal. Again, you know, I'm not surprised to say because I love the wines. They're definitely nice. I thought that it was a really good wines that came right after two great wines for me. So maybe that's why he got a little bit less of a score than the other first two wines, you know. And that would be my only explanation. I mean, I thought it was very meaty. I got a lot of dog food, some floral, like some
So
violet.
you get the varietal on that?
Well, I think it's a Syrah-based wine. That's what I would
Okay,
guess.
great. And how much you pay for that?
I would pay about $60.
60 bucks? 60 bucks.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Tim?
It was in the middle of my scoring, but on the lower end of the range. I thought that it was a Zin type of blend, maybe with a little bit of Rhone wines built into it. A tad oaky at the moment, but you know, again, the challenge in tasting wines is always, you know, drinkability today versus the potential over the next couple
Okay,
of
let's
years.
reveal wine number 3 and see, like, you know, how good you guys are. Yeah.
You want to do the honors?
Well, oh yeah, they're gonna shake it down. Okay.
Yeah. Let's not go too far into the descriptions. Because we're going to keep it short. That's right. Oh. So yeah,
I
so
was having a hard time with that wine.
so we had the Syrah blend, we had Zinfandel blend, we had this is a fiasco.
Well, it's an unusual. Honestly an unusual Malbec because very often Malbecs, you know, even though people talk about it and it's popular, it rarely does a Malbec taste like this. Was almost is closer to a Cabernet, almost Petit Syrah-esque. It just is a meaty one, but what I like about the Malbec, it just comes closer and closer to what I would love in Cahors. You know, like a really gigantic Malbec that we have in Cahors. It would be that on steroids.
So it's 100% Malbec, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I went back and forth with like a really meaty Grenache to a Cab Franc with this
Yeah.
one because there was so much pepper on it. But Malbec, I couldn't grab Malbec out of it.
It's also at the top of
Yeah.
of Soda Canyon, almost
Yeah.
Atlas Peak. So it has it's very cool up there.
I live right underneath it.
Yeah.
Dog fruit.
All right. So now, I'm going to ask you to drink all those wines here because we have a tie and we need to try 3 wines side by side.
Okay.
And I want you to try wine number 2, wine number 4, and wine number 5. And all side by side. So we need to change a couple of numbers, like at least one per,
Okay. So 2.
So 2,
I'll
4, and
pour
5.
everybody. Okay. So 2.
It's crazy. I don't think it never happened
Oops.
like that.
You know him?
No.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a great compliment.
Yeah. And the really high scores too. So, is, obviously this is, all the ones you coming up, that are with you are locals.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
That's Napa.
most of them are Napa, and
Could you represent a Sonoma winery?
I could.
could?
I could if I really felt that that they made wine in a stylistically like we would do in Napa Valley.
Right.
So I might do that if I found that kind of winery.
And you never find anything?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yes.
Which one will be?
Well, if I said so.
That's ToutSuite. Come on.
No, but it's.
Okay. That's it. Okay, I got you. All right, fantastic.
And plus, that wine was made by Philippe Malka, which was,
Oh, is that right?
a great winemaker. So yes, I brought them in the.
Okay, so let's do this in 10 seconds. Come on, it's like a good, change your numbers a little bit, and it's got to be something. We're not going to spend the night here, right? So, so far so good. The first wine, the Malbec, really
Stood out?
well, you know, maybe less, but you know, like threw
Right.
people away. I mean, that was Syrah or that was Zinfandel blend. You know, people didn't know really.
You know, blind tasting
but you
is
don't see
not
a lot of
easy, you
Malbec.
know.
Yeah, and you don't see a lot of Malbec
And you
either,
don't see that many Malbec, and
Yeah.
certainly not like that one.
for sure.
Yeah. You know, no matter how professional you are, we've all done it, the blind tastings, and they are not easy to do.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right,
so-
right, right.
So,
Okay. Are we done?
Ready?
Okay, so Tim, give me your new number on 2.
18.5. I really like this wine.
Yeah, but let's see. Okay, fine. Like, do it like an 18 or 19. How's that?
Hey, you're
I gave you my
influencing the
number.
judgment.
You got okay. Give me your number on 4.
17.5.
You aren't changing anything.
No, sir. You can send
He's
the
got
man over
conviction.
and read it right off the sheet.
How about 5?
18.5.
You keep him. All right.
Sometimes I'm in between, you know, you
Okay.
can't quite.
Marion,
Yes.
get one number 2. You change it or
Oh,
not?
she's got a whole number. She's got
Yeah.
no point five.
So wine number 2, I am going to change to a 17.
Okay.
I just think with the reds, this kind of got overshadowed a little bit. I really love this white wine. It's very beautiful.
Okay. And then one number 4.
I'm staying at 18.
Okay. And one number 5.
I'm staying. You know what? I'm staying at 16 out of 20. I think it's 16. I think I.
Good. Good. That's
there.
perfect.
Does it matter if I change my vote or not?
You just have to change one. Okay, boys. One number 2. You keep it.
Okay, so if I change opposite to you, we're gonna get the same number,
Yeah.
basically. No, I
Let's-
so
let's
number
this
2, I will keep it at 17
Okay.
plus, so 17.5. If you want.
Okay. So one number 4.
17.
Oh. Okay, good. No, it's not good. Okay, like you know what? So we have to go back. We're gonna have to go back. We're gonna have to
this
go.
is 0 right here. You have to put 0 here.
No, that's
'Cause
5
it's
years.
17 and a half, right?
Oh, you
You said
Yeah.
17 and a half.
you,
You said 17 and a half.
fuck it. Okay. I just like. Right.
So you're at
But then now we have 3.
No, you're at 52. You already had changed it, so it's 52.
Didier.
52.0.
Didier, you don't want my vote on the last one?
Yes, I do. I love it.
Okay, so same, haven't changed. 17.5.
17.
No, 17.5. 17 plus, I would
Give
say.
him 17 or 18.
No, because you know what?
plus,
No,
that's
no,
what-
no.
Because
It's,
I,
it's taking the longest time on
They
this
have
thing. Okay.
conviction.
Oh, actually, that might help with the. Never mind.
Yeah, and it's just
I'm
like,
not gonna help him anyway.
you know, that's like so professional. Okay, okay. Let's go back like now. Okay, let's go back to wine 5.
Yes.
Let's go 5. Okay, on 5, team loved it. That was pretty much not that loved it. Yeah. And I already heard from Boris. I'm gonna hear from Marion. Marion, that was your least favorite, pretty much.
Well, I mean, everything was pretty close. I just, yeah. I mean, it was probably. I feel like I know what that. I mean, I feel like it was Zinfandel. I just, I don't know. I did love it. I mean, I gave it 16 out of 20 for sure.
How much you pay for that?
42.
42.
Or I'm sorry, 35. I put, but I would probably. I wouldn't. I mean, 42 seems like a good little number for that wine. There's a lot of careful winemaking in this wine, and Zinfandel is a hard grape to make. I know now. I've learned that is a very finicky grape.
All right, Tim, what do you think? Grapes and price.
It struck me as a cool climate Bordeaux blend. Nice balance, very food friendly. I'm guessing $30 to $40 retail, and I liked it quite a bit.
Okay, 5. So that was.
Well, it was a DQ Zinfandel from Black Sears Vineyard.
Let's reveal that. You know,
Again,
make sure this is it.
High five, good call.
High altitude and a very old vineyard, which is head prune. So it's very intense fruit, and that's probably why there's actually $51 for the bottle, because it's there's the vines are spread 20 feet by 20 feet.
Lovely
It's a crazy
Well,
number. So there's very little fruit, and it's expensive.
And it's a
What's
great.
the retail on it?
51.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
Well,
a great,
yeah.
it's a great vineyard too,
It's
actually.
a nice
Yeah.
wine,
Wow, I
very
mean,
nice wine.
mountain fruit.
So next one we're gonna reveal is wine number 2.
Okay.
And wine number 2, again, we have a tie between Marion and Boris and Tim, you know, it's just a very generous again. And wine number 2,
Ken Bernard's the winemaker, and he decided to play a little bit with the Muscat clone. I think it's a great Muscat clone. You know, when people say it's going to be floral because it's a Muscat clone, and it is floral. It's beautiful with great acidity.
yeah, we need to take pictures. Come on.
Yeah,
I went back and forth between a Chardonnay and a Room Blood. It has so much richness on the mint.
right.
It's like a very Marsanne, Roussanne kind of just like tongue depressing.
I can get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful wine.
Yeah. I think it's.
And what
yeah,
year is it?
that's funny because I thought for me it was like a. He had like this Bourguignon style on the mouth, on the palate too, but on the nose. Yeah, he had like this very. Floral, like almost like a.
You put what is the vintage on that?
13, right? If I think
2010.
2010?
Oh, that bring the 10?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, I've
Right.
heard 12, but
Oh, sorry, 13.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Do you know the oak regiment must be very small too?
Very light, you know. He's you're right. He's playing a little bit on the neutral side.
Yeah, I
There's
did like
some
a
oak,
low oak.
Yeah,
but
very
it's
low.
it's very
Nice
very,
But
creaminess to
the
it.
creaminess
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
very Roussanne. Like it's got a very Roussanne kind of.
D-Day, could you whip up some seared scallops to go with this?
On my way, right when we're done with that. So next one we're gonna be revealing is, but before you open the fucking thing, like let me finish it up though. Next one we're revealing is one number 4, and the one number 4, Marion, you love that.
I did. Yes, it was right up my alley for sure.
Tell me a bit more about it. You know, what do you guess? What is it? What is it?
I mean, that was definitely the one I struggled with the most. I thought there was a Rhone varietal characteristic to it. I got this really kind of beautiful red fruit that I get from Grenache, so I ultimately went there, but I was definitely going back and forth between possible Syrah, Grenache. Mourvedre kept coming in my mind, I don't know why. But yeah, there's really pretty red fruit that unfolded in all sorts of different ways. Currant to strawberry, back to pomegranate. It was just a lot of really pretty red
How much
fruit.
you pay for that? And guess the varietal.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely 50. I would guess, you know, low end $38 to $60. It's a well-made wine, and it's complex.
And the
There's so
varietal?
many different fruit.
GMS, a blend or what?
Yeah, I mean, I would ultimately would think it was a Rhone blend.
Okay.
Yes, but just seemed Grenache heavy because of such the red, pretty fruit.
How about you, Tim?
I'm thinking it's more Cab Franc and Merlot based. I get almost like a left bank Bordeaux character out of it. There's a certain herbal shrillness to it. It's well balanced, it's elegant, but for me it's probably a $25, $30 wine.
Okay. And just Boris, you know.
I will assume it's a Cap Franc. I got this typical like peppery,
Yeah.
and I will pay 45 to 60 for it. And I thought it was
Okay, let's reveal 4.
oh wow, oh but
11.
oh wow, awesome.
So
Wow, that's
so he does blend a
That's
little bit
a
of
left field.
he does blend a little bit of Cap Franc in that cab, but
I think it's also
No,
because
we took away the bottle shot.
I thought you had it, sorry.
You gotta do a Vanna White thing.
Well, you gotta do the Vanna White thing. We don't qualify.
do you think it's because of the fact it's a 2011 as well? It's a bit more.
yes, a little
There is a lot of red
Miss
fruit that
Branson,
comes
I think.
across
Yeah,
on this
good-
wine.
good
I'm
point.
very surprised. Like the Pyrenees are
mountainside
very
again.
small.
Yeah.
right. It's a mountainside, all cooler. So a lot of things happen when you start to have a
Yeah.
good type of weather on some of those things. They mature up and they change a little bit their characters and their signature profile. So yeah, I understand why you would get a little confused with
And,
that
and
one.
you open all the ones here. You didn't like that wasn't like open like 2 hours ago.
No,
or
that's
anything
right.
like
No,
that.
all here. Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So let's now dump all your glasses again, and then we're gonna try. We have another tie, and this is between 1 and 6. So we have to go to that and see if one of you guys are willing to change the number.
Oh,
So,
There's one.
hey,
So basically, if you don't like the numbers we give you, you keep asking until you match
hey,
your.
look,
Where do you go back?
you know, I don't know how you guys like manage that, but that was crazy.
Yeah, that's your.
So let's make it
But
quick.
you know, the thing is, like, you're asking to compare two wines which are so different, though. It's like,
But that's what
well,
Yeah.
yeah, sure,
the name of the game.
yeah, I guess.
All right,
Goes there. We'll put these on pretty.
can't believe Boris has to pour like a half a glass of wine, like a really, like just
Yeah,
to
yeah.
compare that. He's gonna
Immunity
dump
on the
that in
brain.
2 minutes. You know,
All right,
it's-
so we're
isn't
going
it
to
nuts?
1 and 6.
Unbelievable.
You know, this that kind of, you know, Jesus
Where 6
Christ.
is really
Right.
opening up and kind of
Yeah, 6 is
chilling out.
completely
now.
like.
It's now it's a totally different wine.
All right, so you have to change your mind. So between 1 and 6.
Yeah.
So you think of the results so far? You surprised about now what's going on and the reaction?
And how little we know what we're talking about.
No,
no,
just
no.
just you know, price points. Very often when you guys mentioned the price point, you had already an idea of what in your mind what the varietal was or the blend, and so it kind of affected your price point also. Every time you were thinking your own style, you right away know that it's going to be a little bit less than the Cabernet blend or Cabernet. So.
Although, you know, talking about price point on the Côte d'Ivoire blend, I went to Paso Robles not long ago, and I mean those prices for like, you know, those Côte d'Ivoire blends are pretty high down there.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I mean
Yeah.
that's pretty interesting what's going on.
guess
I don't think
$50
that, you know,
million
really the
dollars.
expensive wine is not just Napa Valley any longer.
Yeah, I think if a wine is extraordinary, no matter what varietal it is, it should commend.
Yeah, but this is still like, you know, this is very
Sure,
subjective, you know, and
yes.
that's
I think you're right about like when you get in your mind that it's a Rhone blend or a Grenache or something, your price point ceiling might hit somewhere where, you know, if you thought it was a Bordeaux varietal, your
Right.
ceiling might get higher.
Well, you guys are all professionals, so you already know, you know what the price points for each of these varietals.
well, but that's the thing. That's how we're conditioned,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So that we're professional. That's not necessarily a good thing. So let's reveal that. So Tim, you give 19. Are you changing your mind? On the
No,
first one?
I really like this wine. To me, it's
Yes. So
maybe it's
that's-
California, but it comes off as a really nice Bordeaux blend. Good balance, really elegant.
Awesome.
Marion, you give 16.
Yeah,
on the
I would
first one?
definitely raise. I mean, it seems very young, and now that it's opened up a little bit more, could definitely see the ageability and the pedigree of this wine. I would probably go up to 18.
18. Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. We're winner
I mean,
less
this
like a
is-
Boris.
this is
Drop
really
this
young.
some.
I mean, it was very tight at first. It really was. And now there's a really big evolution in the glass.
Which-
and to me, that
which
says
wine again?
pedigree.
Number one. Let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
Boris,
I won't change mine, but
you change?
no, I won't.
Okay.
I give it 18. I thought was
No, I won't.
the two best wines.
All right. So let's reveal one number 6.
Well, wait, why number 6? We haven't talked about.
No,
Because
this was
we-
one.
That's number
We
1.
were talking
Yeah.
about
Are
wine.
you changing the one? Are you going to be changing?
Oh,
no.
6. Okay, that's
No,
what I'm saying. Let's reveal wine number 6.
So I should reveal.
No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
Time you can add
Boris,
something.
you loved it.
didn't
You
Yeah, I
loved
liked it.
you loved. That was your favorite wine of the
Yeah.
flight.
I mean,
Okay.
these two were close, obviously, but yeah, if I had to pick just one of the two, different reasons. I mean, that's definitely more of a, like, I can drink it with anything. I mean, Vintner is so rich and
Seems like
generous.
cellar and
Yeah.
cellaring more.
This one is just like food driven,
Oh, this one's
beautiful
cellar
bottle
more.
style for me.
So what do you think it is?
Which one?
One number 6.
Oh, what it is? I don't know. I have no clue. I have no clue what it is.
I think it's a
wine
How much you
number,
pay for-
wine
how-
number
how-
6.
How much you pay for this?
I would pay up to $75.
75.
Yeah.
For wine number 6, yeah. I thought it was Syrah, honestly.
Yeah. me
Okay,
too.
go ahead,
That's what I
Marion.
would pick.
Keep
Yeah.
going.
I thought wine number 6 was Syrah, and I thought it was really beautiful. I gave it an 18. I'll stay there.
Yeah.
I would pay anywhere from 50 to 80 for this wine retail. It seems like something that's going to keep evolving too.
How much you pay for that?
I would say low end 50, but
50s? Okay, alright.
if someone
Sorry.
said $80, I wouldn't be surprised.
Tim, that was, you know, your least favorite.
It was. And initially, I wrote down that I thought it was American oak and it was too much oak. I thought it was a Rhone blend. But now that it's been sitting and open, it's come around. I still get a bit of a raw oaky character to it that lays on top. Initially I thought it was a $15 to $20 bottle of wine. I'd probably spend more like 30 to 35 for it now that it's been open a bit, but yeah, it still didn't quite do it for me.
Awesome. So let's reveal wine number 6.
So this wine is a Syrah from Bennett Valley, and
Oh, the mic.
it's a very, very small project called Flanagan, who was started by Philippe Malka, and they spent a decade, prepping all the land and the vineyards and getting the facility in place. This is cult wine status type of wine there. I won't have it at Vintner Collective too long. People go gaga over that wine. Cabell Courset is the winemaker, and he's less known. But Philippe Malka was the
What's the price on that?
76,
Ah, Jesus Christ.
and it gets sold out in about 3 weeks.
How many cases they made?
It's really
150?
150.
All right, well, but we do have a winner. One number 1. So that was close, team 19, Marion 18, Boris 18. Let's go, what do you think that was? What do you think that was?
Go.
No,
you
go. No, you go.
I thought it was a cab blend. I mean, I did think there was some blend. It did very Bordeaux varietals. I thought maybe cab heavy, but it was a very beautifully well-crafted blend.
Ditto. I thought there was a little bit of low-level bread in it, which I don't mind in small quantities. Very attractive. It made it much more Bordeaux-like for me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But no, a beautiful wine.
Wow.
How about you, Boris? Same
Yeah,
thing? How much you pay for that?
I would pay 75 to $90.
Okay. How about you, Marion? How much you pay for
I mean,
that?
that's the one that I put on the most that I'd pay for. I mean, I would go low to 60 to 110.
60 to 110? Okay. How about you, Tim?
I bumped my price estimate from 50 to 60 up to 75 based on how it's evolving.
So, now I have a question here. Why? Because you pick the numbers, you pick so why you pick this wine to be first? Because then after that you came up with a Chardonnay Muscat, and then after that you came up with a Malbec, and why you pick this one first?
Honestly, they were all in front of me, and I was packing them a certain way. And actually, in the computer, for no reason. Honestly, no
What are you
reason.
thinking?
Oh, careful.
The
The
thinker.
reveal's the big thing.
Yeah, maybe I was
Spit
thinking
on
too much.
anybody. Oh my God.
What is it?
No kidding.
So,
Garret, awesome.
Thank you. That's
Awesome, dude.
a Cab Petit Syrah,
Wow.
Malbec, a little bit of Merlot, and a pinch of Tempranillo.
Wow.
so this is the one you're making.
This is
Oh,
your
that's
best.
the Vintner.
Orlando Herrera makes for me.
No, it's beautiful, man.
Thank you very much.
I've
Yeah.
made some Pinot Noir for you under Las Benias.
Yes, and I love
so,
it.
No,
It's whoever blended it understood all the nooks and crannies that needed to be filled for
Wow,
sure.
that's a wonderful compliment. And it's sold at $82.
82.
That's a bargain.
You guys are really close.
Yeah.
Right there?
That's really
Beautiful wine.
That's a bargain, I guess.
Yep.
How many cases?
Well, I have also a Cab Malbec blend and 100% Cab. So my wines go from 82 to 95 to 132.
Yeah.
So that's, I also have something called Bluetooth, which is a Cab Syrah blend made by Don Sur.
Nice.
And Don Sur is a Pinot producer, and I love what he does with that sort of Rhone-like, blend.
This is a
So-
testament to why you blend, for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, here you have it. I know that was a great tasting. Just one more thing, like a very quick. So what's going on? The harvest is almost done. The good and the bad at this point, Tim. What do you think is going on?
Most of the winemakers I know are well over the hump at this point, whereas normally this time of year, the third week in September, we'd be not even 50%. Quality is great across the board. Everybody's already complaining about not enough.
Yeah.
But I'd say all in all, it's going to be a really, really solid follow-up to 12 and 13 and 14.
Isn't it boring?
No, because each vintage is slightly different. I mean, the yields are definitely down
This
this
one's
year.
different, yeah.
I think you're going to find that these wines are going to offer an awful lot of.
Maybe more
Power and
interesting for the
intensity.
marketing people, but you know, but that's same thing though. I mean, that's.
Well, it's too early to go out and say it's another vintage of the century kind of thing, but you know, it's a really good, solid vintage.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Vintner Collective, so your website, how we find you?
You find me by going to www.vintnerscollective.com or vcnv.com and come in and hang out with us at the Taste Room anytime. It's downtown Napa on Main Street, at the corner street with Clinton. So we're open every day from 11 to 6.
All right, sounds good.
We did it.
That was that last wine.
Ah, c'est incroyable que le Las Vitas est encore sorti en premier.
Ouais.
C'est bizarre, ça, hein.
J'ai retrouvé toutes les vidéos qu'on a fait, puis
Ouais,
le petit lot et...